In today's episode of the Pathmark Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Brendan Most, and he's heading over from the folks over at GoLinks. He's the head of marketing. And essentially, GoLinks is an enterprise-grade productivity solution. If you've been in any of the big tech companies, you definitely know what GoLinks in general actually are. So you might have seen them across your organization. And now the team has taken it to the next level. So, Brendan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Very good. Yeah. So maybe give us a quick insight. What is GoLinks all about in your own words?
Yeah, so like you said, GoLinks is a employee productivity solution and knowledge management solution. So the easiest way I can explain it is if you're like me and you've had 150, 200 bookmarks and you always use that information to find what you're looking for, GoLinks eliminates the need for bookmarks. You basically just go in and create GoLinks for the things that you want to go to more frequently. So whether it's Google Docs or your Notion Docs or Jira tickets, you just go/Jira, goes directly to what you're looking for. No need to bookmark. They're memorable, easy to use links that access your information quickly.
Very good. Now, what types of organizations benefit the most? It sounds like they need a certain scale, right, for this to make a lot of sense. Or what do you see? Where are the typical clients? What type of size are they?
Yeah, no, I mean that's a great question. I think I can answer it two ways. We've seen individual users use it just for their personal use to find information, all the way to 10,000 plus employee companies. So, whether it's SMB, mid-market, or enterprise, people have a lot of technology, people have a lot of tools they use internally, and there becomes a need to be able to find that information quickly. So GoLinks is very relevant. Not only is it relevant for the different size of the organization, we found that a lot of the entry points are different depending on the organization. So whether it's HR or internal comms or IT, engineering, sales enablement, those are like entry paths that we can go into, but they usually land and expand and kind of use it across the company. So it makes it interesting and challenging for a marketer to really target the right personas who are looking for your solution, but it's a challenge that we're up for.
Very cool. Now, so who would you say is that like a bottom-up solution where people, start to create their own GoLinks, kind of like a sort of growing through the employee base, or is it a top-down C-suite brings in that solution into their intranets? Like what's typically what you see?
I've seen it two ways. So with free users, people try it, they land it, then they expand it within their internal customer base. We sign a customer success rep, and then we still go from bottom up and expand. But we've seen the traditional route with mid-market enterprise coming inbound, wanting it for their team, and then they have a committee, and we work closely with them. They then go bottom down and get the entire company to use it. So I've seen it both ways. It's worked successfully both ways, but I think if they start from a free motion, it usually is a land and expand. If they talk inbound and their market enterprise, is usually from the top down.
Very cool. Now, what would you say? What's the typical journey looking like? Like, how do they, come across GoLinks typically? Is there certain channels maybe that you guys are focusing on the most?
Yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, GoLinks is a very sticky solution. So once you use it, you really can't live without it once you know it's available. So a lot of the people who've used it at previous companies, whether it's the GoLinks technology or GoLinks itself, have been able to bring it into their new organization because they can't live without it. It's that sticky. So that's been a huge piece of kind of the initial foundation for building revenue at the company. Outside of that, we do have three different motions that we use. So we have sales-led growth, marketing-led growth, and product-led growth motions. We have a pretty built out sales and BDR team who really drive a lot of our pipeline. With me coming in the marketing, we're really starting to scale the marketing organization and focusing on intent accounts and outbound and tying those to different ads and really building an ABM type motion to really focus in on those like not new prospects that may have never heard of us and looking to convert those. And then we have the product-led growth, right? So people who are interested, we have free trials, they sign up, we try to work to convert them to paid and then expand from there. So those are the three motions that are actively in place today. We may expand at some point, but that's enough right now to keep us busy.
Very cool. I mean, it's very interesting with having the product-led motion, but also a sales motion and the inbound motion. How do you think then about the conversion goals on the website, right? You got a demo on the website, you got a free trial, which kind of gets them into a different route. What's your thoughts on then having those different motions and then figuring out what should be the conversion goal on the website?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, primarily, those are the two options we have, right? So from a conversion perspective, it's either demo, on-demand demo where they watch a video, contact sales, or the free trial motion, right?
Mhm.
I think from an outbound perspective, from a marketing outbound, because we do that here as well, we really focus in trying to get mid-market and enterprise companies to convert through the demo option or the contact sales option, because that gives us the greatest opportunity to land a big account, grow revenue and pipeline for the business. If that doesn't work, we then start to say, okay, looks like you're not interested in getting a demo, try it for free. So we kind of use both motions to try to get into an account and get it to sticky. Because like I said, once it's in there,
Yep.
people love it, people use it. I have an actually interesting story. So we were implementing, and you talk about conversions, and these two go really well. So we have for technology, we're implementing Clearbit forms and Chili Piper, right? So together, those are a powerful combination to not only increase the conversion on the site because you're really just filling out one field, but also routing and qualifying to the reps. And during the onboarding for each of those companies, I went to go/Clearbit onboarding, go/Chili Piper onboarding, and they're like, well, how'd you do that? And I was like, well, these are GoLinks. And so those type of moments was where I really realized that people are really craving for this. And until you know that there's a solution out there that can solve for that, it's almost seen as you just don't know about it. Once you know about it, then you're interested, and it becomes very sticky. So those are two motions that we're working on, and I think it plays very well together.
Very
Those
cool.
wow moments is really what I'm looking for.
Makes complete sense. Now, sticking on the website for a moment, like what would you consider sort of, because a lot of marketers come in and they, it's an ever evolving piece, the website, right? Where do you see sort of, the strength of the website as it is versus where do you see room for further improvement?
And a strength, I think it's clear, concise, pretty easy to understand what we're looking for with good imagery. Now with the two new tools I talked about in place, conversions easy. They can book meetings easily. 2 clicks, book a meeting. It's on the calendar. It simplifies the process for the sales side as well. So I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. I think there's there's a potential to include additional kind of, I don't want to use clickbait, but basically something that gives them a better understanding of what our product does through product tours and things like that. Touch it, feel it, engage with it. We have an ROI calculator that performs pretty well to see kind of quantifying the benefits. But I think a lot of organizations need educated in terms of what we do. So some of the content outside of the blog that we have, which is we have a great content team building that, is more actual guides and stuff. Outside of that, the product tour would be another thing that I think we can really start to leverage to show people how it works and get them to actually feel it.
Makes complete sense. Very cool. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about your journey as a marketer a bit. We learned a lot about GoLinks, what you guys are doing, who you're serving, types of customers you're working with, the channels. Now, where do you personally educate yourself? I mean, what's sort of where do you find high quality information as a marketer? There's so much stuff out there. Where do you learn?
Yeah, I mean, I guess luckily I started as a business analyst, and that gave me really insights into like processes and data and sales process and really getting the foundation, and been in a lot of different aspects at startups, enterprise companies across solution, product, demand gen. So I've got really good exposure to all of those. I think that set a good foundation for just having the basic skills to be successful. Outside of that, you're right. There's tons of great communities out there where you can learn. I took a CMO course from Pavilion, which used to be Revenue Collective. There's the CMO Coffee Talk out there that really provides good insights. And then, as marketers do, we take screenshots of things we see. We look at different people that we follow on LinkedIn and see what they're doing, how they're doing it, how they're building their brand, how they're building a community, how they're building an education, like a course. And I think that is something that I'm always looking to see, okay, if what they're doing is successful, how can it be applicable to what I'm doing? Because it's not always going to be. And if so, how do I duplicate that type of success?
Very good. I got some rapid fire questions to wrap it up for today. Are you ready for those?
I think so.
What's the last book that you read or the last podcast you listened to?
So as a rapid fire, RevOps podcast, a ton of those. There's 10 of them, so I can't list them all.
What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Growth.
If there would be no boundaries in tech, what's the one thing you fix for your role as a marketer?
Yeah, I would get a ton of different tech that I don't have budget for, but I would say user gyms would be something that I'd be very interested in because we rely on a lot of referral traffic and repeat
Hmm.
users.
Hmm. What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
Probably this new technology and the conversion workflow and making
Hmm.
sure it's firing correctly.
Hmm. And for the very last question, right? I would like to do a bit of time travel with you, right? Let's go back to the days of Fort Hays State University, right? So you're heading out of formal education into the world of business, growth, and marketing. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey as a marketer?
It's going to sound strange. I have a marketing background, marketing degree. What they taught you there is not applicable to B2B SaaS in a lot of ways. At least it wasn't then.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say early on, start working and connecting with those who are doing a good job, whether it's by title or by company or organization. Connect with them, pick their brains, and I think you'll learn a lot quicker than the traditional kind of coming in and then just learning at you go at each company. I would do that a lot earlier, and it's something that I've done quite a lot the last 3 to 5 years.
Very cool. Brandon, I really appreciate you took the time with us today to give a glimpse into the world of GoLinks. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed today on GoLinks, what's the one thing people should remember?
Well, for GoLink specifically, if you have bookmarks and you're wasting information trying to find something quickly, check out GoLinks. It really is a time saver. It really is a productivity enhancer. And in this downturn, that's one of the number one things people are looking for is how do I become more efficient, more productive in my role? And GoLinks is a really powerful solution at a relatively low cost to get you those hours back each week.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathway Presents.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.